It's not always easy. We don't hear that or see that on social media nowadays, or even in the books. You don't show the grind behind the scenes.
For me, it's, you wake up in the middle of the night, just start thinking stuff,
yeah.
and my mind during the day, shuts
Well,
down. I guess we just got to focus on enjoying what we do.
You got to enjoy the process. You got to love what you do, but you
Yeah.
also remember, you will have some tough days, some bad months. If you survive that, reward's going to come.
Be a bit more disciplined and try to scale it, but I'm content where I'm at. I think if we could get better, who doesn't want to be better?
What's the first thing you do in the morning?
I've been trying to make it a habit, not to maybe come off spiritual, but be thankful for what I have.
That's amazing.
Just kind of
Wake
put a
up.
bit of a focus, and to remind myself and go on to the basics.
Yeah.
Get fresh.
Yeah.
Get that breakfast. Get the family ready. Get myself ready and
School, kids. Yeah.
oh yeah, you know what? School. Now we're blasting into traffic over here.
Season
Phoenix, what
starting.
wasn't, but it started.
Yeah,
And I'm feeling it. That little 20-minute drive became the 40-minute drive. But it's a good moment. It's I have yet to start my day because it's so memorable. Dropping the kids off at school, having that conversation with them. The morning conversation, or listen to music. Singing along with them. So it's that nice moment. So I'm actually happy that I have that extra time with them as well. And it's usually probably the best time because now we get so lost in the day that it's hard for me at least to keep up with them. And then we get home, and then you have that quick dinner,
Yeah.
then the quick preparation for bed, and that moment with them. And it's just such a small window, at least for myself.
Yeah.
But I can't complain. I mean, I'm trying to maximize every moment with them. And the day started with trying to be positive.
You're very hardworking. You're one of the hardest working men I know, and in Naples, in Florida, and I respect and appreciate that about you. And
Thank you.
not that you need an introduction, but Seat is he's an Olympian when it comes to cars, and a great salesman, and just very successful in the car industry in the United States. And we met a couple years back, and I admire his mindset, how he built his business and how long he's been in the business. I think when you were a kid, when I was a kid, I had a car collection and a lot of small cars, and I think I think you're still like, you wake up and you're living your dream from being a kid. It's like you which car you choose when you wake up this morning? I mean, I thought that's what you're gonna say when you're like, I wake up and I'm gonna drive the Bentley today or the Rolls Royce. I mean,
I don't think about it because it's it's that passion. It's just already in you.
Yeah.
It's just the natural.
But you're with a different
day-to-day,
car. I mean,
Yeah, I have to feel it.
Yeah.
I have to enjoy. I have to know what's in my hands, and to know what product is being put out there.
Yeah.
So for that,
Because you can sell it better, right?
correct. Yeah, you totally understand what you have in your hands, and it gives me the opportunity to at least be familiar on the actual product itself that you have there. But going back to those cars, yeah, I mean it's nostalgic, to bring that up and think about that because what kid I guess didn't have those little toy cars and to play with it.
You grew up with a father and family that they were into
Were
that
into
business already, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
So being around that, it was just natural.
Okay.
And it was something that even my brother and I, and he's also in the automobile industry. We're around day in day out, and it just became natural.
Nice.
So what we're doing now, at least for myself, it's definitely passion.
Passion, right?
What I look at, I'm not looking at a business. I'm looking at having this item, this product, and which happens to be automobiles, and to really meet and connect with new people that have that like interest, and to have them pair up with what they've wanted, because really these are
Hmm.
wants, not needs.
Yeah.
And for me, that's very important to have that quality, but that moment that you actually share with that customer or that new person that you meet, whether they, are a customer at the moment or eventually become a customer, it's a new relationship.
And
And so there's the growth, and I think that to me that's the excitement
yeah,
of being in this business, is to simply meet new people.
yeah,
That's really what excites me, is again, something like this to come across, of new contacts, new moments, and I think it flows. I think it just gives you the support to grow.
yeah, 100%. And you, I mean, you probably work with some clients that they have collections like, you know, 20, 30, 40, 100 cars collections.
They scale up there. I mean, now how far? You'd be surprised. You just never know, because
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, there's some people that I meet, and what you think that they have, like, 5, 8, and that's like all you think they have.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, it's like you go and visit them at their home, or where they store their collection, and you're like, wait, it's not something I was
It's
expecting.
just,
So I love that, people are also passionate about what they have, and how much value, and you know I think I'd say gratification, I guess maybe is the word, that they get out of having these items. But yeah, it's always a surprise. It's always a surprise, because people have that interest, and it's amazing how far they go to build this collection, and to obtain these items, to acquire them. Um, but yeah, it's to me, all these items are art, own creativity, people, and how far they go, as far as you know what they'll go through to take on either a restoration project, or to find something that they're specifically looking for, they want. Uh, that's where I could appreciate that
color,
level of,
year, right? Model. Can you tell, like, if you see a vintage car from the 60s, can you recognize what year the car is? Like, you've
it,
sold so many.
it's yes and no. Yes, for the part that, at least the ones that I know. I mean, I can't say that I know all, but there's a good chunk. But there's also been cars where these days people, they modify them. So it's hard to gauge,
Yeah.
what they actually are, because they've gone and modified the engines,
Yep.
resto mods, little details. So it for the most part, yeah. I mean, we got a pretty good understanding, but it's hard to keep up. It really
Oh,
is,
of
because there's
course.
so much out there. So, new designs, new models, uh, these changes. So for me, we have to constantly be up to date with what's going on in the market, in the industry, and especially now. Not to change the topic, but we're going into the electric car
Hmm.
demand, and that's a new game changer, where we have to keep up with that. Uh, Now, for me, what I particularly deal with, we deal with vintage, exotic, automobiles. So we're pretty specific, more so with older generation cars. But these newer ones, it's gonna be harder.
I don't know.
Tough to keep
I'm
up with.
very skeptic about the electric cars. I think the only electric car I'm gonna ever own is my golf cart that I bought 3 years ago. I love it. It's fun, but it's a toy car. So
Right,
I
right.
like the sound of the engine. I love
Absolutely.
it just reminds me of. I like the diesel too.
Yeah.
When
You want to smell it.
yeah,
Yeah. You want to
exactly.
hear it. You want to feel it.
It's a different adrenaline.
Absolutely. It gives it the character.
Hmm.
Otherwise, I feel like we've gone into this like monotone state of, just simplicity. It's advanced technology, but there's no like substance to it. There's no character.
Yeah,
There's no excitement, at least for me. I mean, but yeah, you
yeah,
get into, your your golf cart. Yeah, cool. You know, that's great. That's a cool product. You know, and you know you.
I mean, you sell golf carts.
Yeah,
You represent. You have the Moke,
we
right?
have
You're the
Moke.
you have the
You know, there's an electric car. It's an
Yep.
awesome product. You know, it's fun. You know, it depends on what you're looking for, but that's you know,
I'm sure you sell a
it's
lot of those, right? I mean, I see a
pretty
Moke.
cool.
Yeah.
They've been popping up. It's been a pretty.
You know which ones the Mokes are?
Mm-mm,
The
no.
cool looking mini kind of electric car.
I think we saw one in Vandy. Like we saw one. It's like it looks like a. I don't know if it looks like a Raptor. It's
looks like a Jeep, right? But
yes,
a mini
yes,
version
yeah.
of the
We
Jeep.
we literally just saw it.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're electric. They're cool.
So you represent the
Low
Moke.
speed
Yeah, he
vehicle.
sells that in Ford. I think.
Yeah, we got this this here in Naples, and
Yeah.
it's been a great product, especially around town. You know, people enjoy it. It's the convenience. You know, you know taking in the great outdoors. Uh, you know, even when you're driving a convertible and to drive in one of these, it's definitely a product that'll put a smile on my face, and many
Yeah.
others.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. I mean that's been a great product. We're excited about it. You know, myself, the team, and it's something that I want to see grow. But you know, it's taken its effect as far as expanding into the market, and you know the growth is there.
Yep.
The growth is there.
So yeah, so if I could, I want to take a little bit back. Give me your background. Like I'm obviously we're just now meeting, so
Yeah.
I would love to, know the passion for cars is real. You know, me and Ryan are like all over that, but just by everything that Blaze has told me, I'd love to know like where you came from, where the passion for cars from a family came from, and like what brought you to Naples today.
You know, the passion was growing up in the industry. My father and my uncle have been in the automobile industry for at least 40 plus years, since the late 70s, early 80s, and they were on the service end of it. And for me, going there to visit them, to see
Every
all
day.
the hard work, you know, that they were putting in, and to look at again these cars getting worked on and looking at the different designs, you know, the different colors. There's so many little things, you know, the wheels. You know, you're a kid, so there's
you work
so
with
much
them?
curiosity. And
Did you work? Like, did you?
no,
No.
I don't have the slightest idea of anything service related.
So you like the finesse? You
Yes,
you
just
enjoy the
look,
car?
the
Yeah.
touch, the feel, the drive, and you know, being around that, it just I think you know was natural. But I looked at you know how hard my father worked, you know, to support us, and I think you know seeing him being in that business stuck to me, and growing up around it, you know, it was just natural, I guess, for me to you know be a part of that. Uh, the the sales side, I've been at least a good 20 plus years, about 22 years that I've been in this industry and probably more. Um, as I mentioned earlier, gave me that excitement and that drive meeting new people. And I was
Yeah.
young and meeting new people, whether I was just hanging around, you know, over at the shop, or if I'd you know stop at one of the stores, the dealers when I was a little kid to look at the cars and to enjoy that moment. So for me, you know, I think it was just natural, and it pushed me to want to be around these products, to want to be around people, and I think it created a comfort for me to be around that people
Nice.
and the cars itself. So everything else just flowed. Um, but you know, we came from, I guess, simple, humble beginnings. I guess is a way to put it. My father came here from former Yugoslavia, not knowing the language, and then solo. You know, had other family members here, so they were fortunate enough to you know at least have that comfort and support of one another. But to you know sink or swim, and you know he did the best. He could.
Florida or a different state?
Chicago.
Chicago.
Chicago. So home base was Chicago.
Okay.
so that's where I grew up. We eventually came to Naples. My parents having a place here, and I would visit them. So that gave me the opportunity to see what's over here. Uh, at that time, Naples was very quiet. It was definitely a place where I just wanted to come in, say hi, have a quick lunch, dinner, take off. For me at that time, I was loving Miami, big cities. So it was beautiful, but it was just too quiet for me. That pace was not what I was accustomed to. But over time, it grew on me. Got married. We decided to, fly back and forth. Try to enjoy the winters here, summers back up north. So we were fortunate to do that. And with my older one starting school, we had to make a decision of, where are we going to call home? And we decided Naples. It was just the comfort, the ease, the positive energy that was here, and we were excited about being in a beautiful place like this to raise a family.
Turns out to be $1 billion decision, right?
Wow, that'd be a good one. Hopefully one day. Hopefully one day.
Well, I mean, it's the healthiest, happiest place to live in the country.
It is. It is.
So I wish, I came here the first time when I came to the United States, but I didn't knew about Naples. So,
But something brought you here,
oh yeah,
and that was probably the best move you made.
oh,
It
100%,
seems.
all day long, every day.
And
Yes.
you're crushing it.
Well, as you said, when you wake up, you're grateful. When I wake up, I poke myself. Am I really in Naples? Am I dreaming? So that brings me happiness every day. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
people forget to pay attention to the palm trees when they spend some time here long enough,
Yeah.
and then you go somewhere, you come back, and you're like, wow, how beautiful Naples is.
Very true.
How clean it is, how safe it
Very
is.
true.
So we're blessed to be here.
Absolutely, I
And
agree.
I'm an advocate about Naples everywhere I go. Everywhere.
Yeah, you are. Well, listen, I mean, I think you've done a great job here of being able to support your industry
Yep.
and
Yeah.
support your growth and the
And,
clientele
and,
that you.
and one way I pay back is, by doing this, by sharing to the world how, beautiful Naples is, and just keeping growing well connected, meeting awesome people. As you mentioned couple of times, work people, that's your passion. So
Yeah,
same with
yeah.
me. And I believe same with every successful person we interview and talk to. It's like everybody talks about the same in different patterns, but that's the passion, the business, the people, just
Yeah.
meeting the right people. You want to be surrounded with people. Doesn't matter if they're more successful or less successful than you. As
Right.
long as you can learn from them,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
you're golden.
Oh, we're learning every day.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
say that you know it all, that's a bold statement.
I mean, you and me, every time I see you or you see me, we always learn from
Absolutely.
each other. We grow
Absolutely.
together. We talk about different ideas.
To
we
support
share.
one another.
Yeah.
I mean, that's important.
Yeah, because life is difficult. A habit I didn't have back in the day was I wake up and I do my thing. I was never reading the newspaper, or now I do the Wall Street Journal. I read, but the more I read, there's so much negativity. There's so many bad things happen.
Does that deter you from saying, let me just?
And now I'm
Not
back
know
to
so
I'm going to
much?
stop again, because I was in a mindset where you read the news, you're misinformed. You don't read the news or the newspaper, you're uninformed. So we're in a business where we want to know what's going on.
Right.
But I'm changing that habit to now talk to different people in different industries, because talking to you're in the automobile industry, somebody's in the in the market, in the money industry,
Right,
or you
right.
talk to a financial guy, a health insurance guy, a real estate guy. You learn from them that's the best information you
Absolutely.
can get. So I think having different people around you and getting that information from somebody that because information is everywhere right now.
Yeah.
But the hard part is that the real information?
Right.
Because that's the expensive.
We
part.
don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
So
And you're only believing what you're told.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
again, we don't know.
So
Now, what do you think? I mean, you referenced Naples. Do you think we're in a bubble being in Naples? How do you
I
feel
think
about
Naples it's a bubble itself.
Mm.
I think that's a great question. Naples is a bubble itself. I believe that no matter what happened, because of the quality of people they live in this city,
that? Mm-hmm.
we're gonna be the, you know, last one in any type of recession, and we're gonna be the first one out. If you go anywhere else, you can feel worse things happening. I mean, anywhere else in the world, we're still doing very okay here. I mean, season's coming. I see, you know, all these cars are coming down, and people are happy. Restaurants are full. You know,
Streets are full.
streets. Yeah. So
It's vibrant,
Yeah.
seeing that energy.
again, that's why
I
I think
love
it's a
it.
hidden gem. You know?
Absolutely.
So
For me, and I have to take occasional trips. I know that I'll make my way to the other coast, and it's always a good energy. Big city.
Mm.
yeah,
Take yourself over to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and it's always, to me, I love it. I don't mind the traffic, but I do miss home.
yeah, that's a good.
I couldn't say that years back, but
Yeah.
when you get there, it's like you're almost like in
Something's
that
missing.
rush and want to get back home.
Yeah.
And when you get here, you're like, oh, this is a
I
great
think it's the
place.
quality of people.
Absolutely, it's a
think it's
peace of
quality,
mind.
yeah.
It's the comfort. It's
Yeah.
the comfort. I love it.
Also, just I'm 24, so I'm very like super young, and everybody that I talk to, they're like, "You live in Naples?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do. Miami's right here. Tampa's right here.
Yeah.
I can get on a flight and go to New York. I can get on a flight and go to Denver, LA. I can go anywhere where I need to. Nowhere gives me the focus and peace of mind that this area gives me
Right.
at this age. And I think a lot of people are too busy in the scene to actually get real work done, to push their business forward, or to do things like that. How did focus in your early 20s, how did that shape you? And then how did it change when you moved to like Naples and like you got into this type of arena?
The focus. I mean, I think most people, and I could be wrong, but I think at that age, everybody has some sort of passion or some sort of drive or a goal, something. And I think growing up and working at a young age, it was just something I was accustomed to, just knowing that I have to earn.
Mm.
Myself, yes, my family, I was very fortunate that they were there to support me. But I think just being around that environment
Yeah.
of visiting my father and work, just over time, kind of just got instilled in me, and it just became a natural thing where, like, okay, I need to make a living,
Yeah.
pay bills, survive. I'm gonna have to work. So in the 20s, yeah, I mean, listen, I think we're all young, we're all energetic that time, and we have that goal that you look for. And for me was to establish myself and uh, create what I've created. And this was an environment to enjoy what you do and enjoy others. So this is the fun part for me. But those 20s, the push was, you see others, you see your elders. And I guess when you see somebody back then, you see them in your 40s or 50s, you're thinking like they're much older. And now, I'm, cracked the 40s, and now I'm like, wow, I don't feel, I don't know, I don't feel
They were
that
not that old, right?
old. Yeah, they weren't that old, But now you're at this age, and like, wait, you still have a lot to go, and you still need to grow, or at least that's what's going on in my mind. So I guess at that age, you had this goal, and it was far away, so you had to really push to get there. My whole point right now is now you're that that age 20 years down the road, or 15 or 25 years down the road, and you're like, wait, you still have to go. So I think in my mind it was just that push of, all right, you have that goal, you haven't gotten there, and you want to achieve it. So
See, that's the
drive is-
mindset. That's the mindset of a successful person, not just in business, in life as well. And always grow. We talked about this a while back. It's like you didn't work this hard not to change. You gotta change. You gotta grow to better, right? Not for worse, but you grow to become a better person, better businessman, better father, better husband.
right.
So growing is the main. I think we're never gonna stop grow. You always grow until you die. You just learn.
Yeah.
You learn. You read new books. You meet new people. You
Yeah,
know the business.
absolutely.
It's important.
I just feel that we're always gonna wanna, we're always gonna want something more, or it's going to take a lot more to achieve that. But I realize that this time passes so quick, and here we let time dictate what we do.
Mm.
Um, and for that, I don't, like you're doing what you want, but are you able to, I guess, absorb and take in what you've been, shooting for, what your goal is, and maybe that's why it's like you've hit that goal, you don't realize it, and then you
What's
set,
next?
you set
Yeah.
that next goal, and you don't realize it, and you're still just pushing and pushing and pushing because I feel that we're just
Well,
so controlled by that
you're
time.
a success junkie.
Oh, thank you.
You're trying to, well, it's a compliment, but you're trying to find what's next now. You reach a goal, and then what's next, and then what's next. And I've heard from a good friend, they say, who's going to enjoy our success the most? Our kids. You're never going to be happy with I know I'm never satisfied with my hustle. I know I can always do better. And I hope one day my kids going to enjoy the success that I created, because for me, we don't need a lot, right? It's not, I don't
Well,
work for money. I work to build something. I build a legacy and provide for my family. That's my goal.
and you could only have so much time to enjoy it.
Exactly.
I mean, look at you. You've done so much in such a small window. So, I mean, what was that drive? What pushed you to do that?
I was born with well, my family,
Huh?
my family, the way I was raised. I'm a competitive guy too, but I'm competitive with myself. When I look at myself in the mirror, again, I deal with myself more than anything else. Like, that's my challenge. It's not the competition I go if I go on a listing appointment or if I'm selling a house. It's me. Like, I'm so tough on myself. Nobody else that I know it's tough on me. So that's why when I get compliments, like, I don't feel comfortable. Like, I don't feel comfortable when you say you did this, you did good, because I feel like I didn't do anything. Yeah,
But you have.
that's how tough I am on myself.
But you
And
have.
I don't know if that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I think that pushes me.
So you're saying it's never enough?
I think my question is this, because I haven't made it yet, but there's something to be said with
Hey, you're sitting with us. You're
dedication,
sitting with us.
a dedication to progress and a love for progress.
So what is your goal? Yeah, you said 24, and you asked me that question of, okay, and those 20s,
Yeah.
what was that? What was that push? Well, where are you at?
My goal is to not, like, I want to build the company that we're building now, Grit Digital. I want to build that. I love I love building with people. Like, I love building team. I love being a leader. I love doing all that stuff. So continuing to double down on that and just becoming the best at what we do. And that sounds like super cliche, but like, for me,
I think everyone wants that.
but it's playing the game in that way. And I think I know a lot of people that, my peers and stuff like that, they're focused on what is the number that I'm trying to get to. And I'm way more focused on, am I going to be here in 20 years? You know what I mean? Like, the business, what are we doing? How are we doing it? The relationships we're building. So my goal is to learn as much as humanly possible and earn along the way. So that's really what it's been. But from what I've seen from you guys, it's a lot of it is I think most successful people that I've met, they have super short memory of, like, oh, we just hit this major success point, or I just, got punched in the gut. And you have this quick memory of turning whatever that is over. And then it's what have I done for myself lately? So it's like this constant iteration of progress. It's just what I've observed from the time that I spent with you and the short time that we've spent together. Am I right there? Or is, like, what would you label that?
Do you celebrate your successes? Do you celebrate, like, you reach a goal for the month, you sell 40 automobiles, or you sell the most expensive one? Do you celebrate that, or you just keep on grinding?
I think no, it's the constant grind.
Yeah.
But our celebration is relatively simple. I take my team out. We'll try to do our monthly dinner, bi-monthly
You
dinner.
reward them.
Yeah, of course. Just to say, hey, really, I mean, we're a team. And I respect them, and I appreciate really having a good team. So I want to show that by at least saying let's celebrate. And
Appreciate it,
we've gone through this month, and we made a living, and let's do it again.
Yep.
So the goal is really to enjoy what you're doing, and enjoy the environment that you're in, and that's what I want to provide not only to my guys over at the office, but also to the customers. Is just to enjoy that environment that you're providing.
But it's not always easy. And we don't hear that or see that on social media nowadays, right? Or even in the books. It looks, one of my mentors always say, Blaze, you make it look so easy, people think everybody can do it, right? It's not that easy. Enjoyment is something, I agree with you, like we enjoy what we do. That's why you're in the business for so long.
You show it because you have a lot of positive energy exuding from you, and that's a great way of being.
And I use that, right?
Yeah,
I share that energy, and I think the more I share, the more I get back. But it's not easy because you don't show the grind behind the scenes.
I mean, listen, I'll tell you, and
it's not
too personal, but
yeah.
I mean, for me, it's you wake up in the middle of the night, just start thinking stuff, and my mind during the day it like shuts down. I'm not thinking there, because I've done that thinking the night before, or 3-4 a.m. Like, wait, okay,
you're
this is my day. This is what I need to do, and then get that going. So yeah, it's we all function differently, but we gotta. I guess we just gotta focus on enjoying what we do. That's just been my goal, enjoying it.
Yeah.
So,
you gotta enjoy it because you're 24. You gotta enjoy the process. You gotta love what you do, but you also remember you will have some tough days, some tough markets, some bad days, some bad months.
Yeah.
Wash it.
If you survive that,
reward's gonna come. We're so focused on pleasing.
Yeah.
I mean, these days, it's harder. That's harder these days is to please. And when you're pushing yourself and you're driving and that you're working hard and you're doing your best, you want to make sure that shoots out and exudes to everyone else, that let them know that, hey, I'm trying. I want you to be happy. I want you to enjoy every moment. So that's, I think, what makes it harder as well. Yes, this is what you do day in, day out, but it's important that not only you feel good, but that other person feels good as well.
Good too. Yeah. A win-win combo.
Yeah.
Is anxiety a driver?
Oof, man. You had to throw that one out there.
Yeah, because I wake up and if I'm not anxious in the morning, I'm not running out the door with my hair on fire. I love what I do. I enjoy every second of it, but I think that at least my early experience, very early experience, it's been a lot of like, hey, my hair's on fire and my ass is on fire, so I better get out of the door and get moving.
Anxiety. We've had this conversation plenty times.
Yeah, plenty times.
And I gotta tell you, I haven't felt anxiety or knew really what it. I mean, I knew what it was by hearing about it from others, but personally myself, not till this year that I felt anxiety. Man, I don't think that's a drive. I don't think that's a drive. Anxiety is, I feel that's almost kind of consume you because, again, it's kind of, you aim to please. So you want to make sure that everything is just right and to the best of your capabilities and the best of your knowledge and the best of, anything you could do. So I think over time it either works and for you or against you.
100%.
But yeah, anxiety, that's a tough one.
Comes with experience too. Like the more you experience you have in the business or what you do, you can control it. Like this morning I wake up, I didn't want it. My body was like, you rest, don't go to the gym. I know we have this booked.
Right.
All of these thoughts start spinning in my head about quitting. And, I had so many important calls in the morning, send important emails. And then, you have to do this. And I think with experience, when you forget about everything else that's happening, and now we're here in this, we can only be at one place in one time. So I learned throughout the years to focus on what I'm doing at this second. So I don't think about anything else right now. I focus on you. I focus on the team. and what we're doing right now. And I think that helps the anxiety go down. If you wake up and you know you have to do this today and you start thinking about 10 other projects that you might have this week, that creates anxiety.
Right.
I have a lot of other things to do, but right now, no anxiety. I'm here with my friend, with you guys, and we're doing this. So it's
How do you create that presence? How do you create that? Like, because now I understand it's like years. So we've been in our business for 4 years. So I've seen 4 distinct yearly cycles of, all right, when Christmas comes around, this usually happens, and all this, and I get the reps with it, and then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I kind of detach myself from the little micro ups and downs, but the presence of settling in on here's where I'm at right now. How do you guys practice that?
Well, he's going deep with the questions, and I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. My answer is I don't think that really settles in, or I don't think that crosses my mind.
Well,
to me, it's we just constantly have to do it.
Yeah,
that's it.
You got to do it, and you got to be
I
uncomfortable.
don't think we can get comfortable.
No, you got to
At
be.
least for me, I can't.
No,
because I mean, as you said, the constant cycle. Oh man, those
well,
bills and expenses are constantly coming in too. So you're trying to focus on how I can make it, earn, so I can pay those bills and be comfortable. That's what it is. So yeah, Christmas coming around every year, and Easter coming around every year, and Halloween coming around every year, and you name it. And
well, New Year's, I just pre-planned my tax for next year. When the big checks are coming, we have to send some big checks by the end of the year as well. So that uncomfort creates comfort. And just, I hope this will help you out. I wish I knew the people you knew when I was 24. That will help me so much to just rocket my success in not just business, in everything. And another thing, I was 24 when I left my family in the small town I was born. And I said, bye, guys, I'm going to live in a country that I've never been before. How about that being uncomfortable? Going to a country from Eastern Europe, moving to United States, not knowing anybody.
So that's tough.
So yeah,
tough.
Yeah, and I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, I decided when I was in my 20s not to be comfortable because I had a good business. I think I mentioned to you before. I had a nightclub. I had my father business was given to me, like run the show.
Right.
And I was like, no, I want to do something myself and be uncomfortable. So I think it's good to be uncomfortable all the time.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this now, and I say, I want to use the word generation, but this era, maybe in your 20s and having a, circle, a social circle, and even a work circle of other people that are in your business or that maybe you grew up with. Do you get that support? Do you get that support of saying, I want to see him do well. I want to try to help.
If you asked me this 4 years ago, I would have told you no. Now, although the circle has gotten a lot smaller, because I was in college at 4 years ago, I was I had.
Where'd you go here?
Yeah, Florida Gulf Coast. Okay. I had a lot of big dreams, like out of the gate. Ryan has been with me for literally the last 4 years. We've been side by side in a lot of ways. But my goals were really lofty, and like I had a lot of opportunity to like different things that I wanted to pursue. And a lot of people looked at me. My mom, being one of them, was like, I think you're going the wrong way. Like I didn't end up finishing school. Like I did a lot of things that a lot of people around me didn't understand, so they weren't able to support it.
They don't have to.
Now I'm at a point that I just call it stacking undeniable proof. And I know being at 20, like a lot of my activities are self-serving to other people. Like I want other people to be proud. I want other people, all that type of stuff. But for me, it's just stacking undeniable evidence in myself that like, hey, I made the right bet. I believe in it. And what I've been able to do is have a lot of people around me that have been with me at 4 years ago. And they were like, hey, listen, I see the vision. And those people are in my company now. Those people are by my side every single day. I've had the same girlfriend for the last 4 years. It's like, I just have those core, and they're small. I could count them on one hand that have been there. And I'm like, hey, I I can't screw that up. Because even if it's 3 people that have been there since day one that said, I believe, that's gold. That's currency that you can't really, there's no value that you can put on that, at least how I've seen it this early on.
So is this what you envisioned growing up? Wanting to do this? Or you
More
fall
than
into this?
More than like this was not the vision growing up. The vision growing up was being an NFL player, and then I found out I was 5'6" and a $160, and I was like, probably not.
It's always possible, man.
Yeah. Found that out, and once I got to once I was in high school after I broke my ankle, and basically found out football was not a long-term thing for me. I was really struggling because I was so self-obsessive, I was so obsessive over like whatever I was doing. So football was my obsession, and everybody knew it. And then once I got into college, before I got into college, somebody came to me and said, "Hey, you're really good at marketing." And I didn't know what marketing was at the time. Like I just knew that when we had events in high school, they would go to Jamie and be like, "Hey, can you help us? Can you help us get people to show up?" And somebody came up to me and said that. And ever since then, that was my next thing that I had associated myself with. I said, all right, I'm a marketer. And then ever since then, that's been what we've been building.
And you enjoy it.
I love it.
Simple as that.
I love it. It's I don't work. I don't work.
Right,
I have a lot of fun in my days, and I it's hard, but I don't feel like I work at this point.
Nobody says it's gonna be easy.
Mm-mm.
Right.
How many people you met on the airplane when you went to Colorado last week? You met somebody, or you?
2 people.
It's good. It's good.
Got to. Plane is the way to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm interested from your perspective, when you look at you, I mean, I would imagine you have a lot of salespeople that come through your company and different things like that.
I'm a small boutique.
Okay.
We just really focus on having a good quality product.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a couple guys with me that have been with me for quite some time. One guy for a little bit over 3 years, the other one for a little bit over 4 years. And to me, having that team there and that loyalty is important because we have a understanding of one another. They have an understanding of how we operate and treat this business, and how everyone is genuinely passionate and happy to be there. That's what's important for me is again going back to enjoying what you do. And you said this is not work. We don't look at it like that. Yeah, it's not easy. But we also feel that it's not work. You want to be there. So I guess I don't think I answered your question. I guess the way you were probably expecting it.
Well, no, more so I want to understand, you started the podcast talking about meeting people, and that fires you up. And every very successful person I met has said, because we run a social media company, like we're promoting on social media, and they go, business is not done on social media. Business is done face to face, person to person.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what business you're in, industry. How have you leaned into that, and what activities do you do daily to meet people? And I think a lot of people, especially in my generation, it's a lot harder for them to meet people and shake hands because
they're on the phone all the time.
That's the problem.
We're totally disconnected.
And that answer is, I think that's getting tougher.
Oh, yeah.
I we're very fortunate that we try to push to make time, and again, time dictates what we do, and of course we have to focus on our work and earn and be productive. But getting back to how do you meet people, it's very, I feel it's harder these days. Having a location in brick and mortar, what gives me the opportunity to have people come through the door, see them face to face, introduce yourself, and vice versa, opens that path. But out in the public, as Blaze said, it's tough because everybody's so focused on, I think, the convenience. And the convenience is just sitting there looking at your phone, going on social media, which I'm not saying it's a bad thing. somewhat, I guess, of a good thing too. But it's tough because I think it makes it difficult to go at least have that comfort these days of approaching somebody. And for me, I'm comfortable, but I see that people tend to distance themselves, and making that approach is a bit harder. So I think if you're not initiating some sort of engagement to, hey, let's sit down, meet for a coffee, have a bite to eat, interact face to face. I think it's going to get harder to socialize, and people feeling comfortable with one another is going to be a bit more difficult. For me in my industry, I prefer that face to face interaction. I want that. But these days, having the internet and the convenience at your fingertips, whether it be your phone, your computer, it definitely makes it harder to interact with people. Because now, even making a phone call or taking a phone call or having someone call or taking your call, that's become harder. It's easier just to sit there behind the computer, type away, send out what you want to say, but there's no understanding.
I practice something I call be first. So I'm always the one who say hi first, smile first, eye contact first.
Yeah.
And I'm in the gym, Starbucks, everywhere. And I agree with you. People don't really do, they don't give you the eye contact as they used to back in the days.
They were shaking your hand.
They smile.
Looking
I
at
think
you.
COVID, it's not helping with that, what happened a couple years ago, and people was, but I'm still practicing that every day.
That's awesome.
And I'm always the first one who smiles, shake hands.
Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong.
You're not
No,
losing.
No, I'm in the business to meet people, and the more people I know, the better for everybody around me is. So
And that's great of you because you create that comfort.
100%. No, I'm super
right now
comfortable.
there is that like window,
Super comfortable.
that kind of that wall of say hi. Do you not? How's
Well,
that person going to respond?
Yeah.
And when you do say hi, sometimes people are like,
They give you a weird
what did you?
Yeah.
Were you talking to me?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, I really appreciate your time being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Seth. Yeah. You don't need an introduction, but you're.
No, I felt we didn't talk about you.
No, well, it's
think we
not.
need
This
to
is
know-
about. This is about you. It's this podcast is about you. It is the guest we know. It's about. Actually, it's not
To
even.
me, I
about
thought
you.
it was about friendship. My
Well, it's not-
friend
it's not-
thought of me
No,
and said, "Hey,
turn that back. It's not even about you. This is about all the young kids out there. They spend 24 hours on their phone and they get all this information out there. We don't charge for this podcast. What we ask for these kids looking, because if you're smart and you're hungry to grow, you're gonna catch eye on this podcast. You're gonna be, I'm learning from this. So we don't charge for this. We're doing this for we're taking out of your time that you can do stuff. And
It's my
and
pleasure.
all of you guys.
to be here.
But we hope that the people watching, listening to this podcast, all we ask for them to pay us back is to share. Share this knowledge, share this wisdom, because a lot of these kids, as we talk about, they're not going to shake your hand tomorrow when they see you on the street because they're shy, the different way of approach. So share this, learn, listen to it again. Hopefully we helped you, understand some things in life, that nothing is easy. You got to grind, you got to work hard.
absolutely."
We appreciate you now. We're going to see more of you. We're going to do some
I would
stuff
love to.
together.
Not going far from that topic, just reflecting. I know we could end this here momentarily, but I gotta tell you, for me, that growth, that interaction with people, the comfort of meeting people,
Yeah.
the opportunity of
Yeah.
meeting somebody, doesn't matter who it is. I've seen, I think my character, my self-esteem, my business grow because of people that I met, the relationships, the interactions, the support. And the whole point of me mentioning this is I think it is very important that we do
100%.
interact like this face to face,
100%.
because there's a different level of comfort.
Yeah.
So hopefully that could get back to the norm, or hopefully that could grow. But that has been, kind of disappearing.
It's wild to think that we live in a world that when we heard survival of the fittest, we had no idea we would be talking about having face-to-face interactions and like this type of thing. We're in a comfort crisis. I know it. Like, it's not that hard to stand out in our generation, just being totally transparent. There's a lot of people that are spending 12 to 14 hours on their phone. They're not doing anything. They're not meeting anybody. And it's, I think we're going to get to a point where everything is cyclical. So we have to come out of this in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But I think by having conversations like this, inspiring people to be more connected, because I think it's interesting to hear the gurus on social media talk about being successful and talk about that one advertisement that they ran on Facebook to get all these leads. And
but these gurus, like the business coach in the college, like he's teaching you about, there's an entrepreneur college teacher,
yeah,
and a student asked him, how many businesses you own? And he said, none. I'm an entrepreneurial college teacher. How can that guy teach my kids tomorrow to open a business?
Yeah.
When I opened my business was I was 19, or all of my friends and clients around me built so many businesses.
Right.
Well, don't go to college. I'm not, against college. I think it's good to meet people. I met so many great people in college, but that's it. I never work a day.
How about your industry? I mean, you went from a face-to-face, somebody had to go out there and look at what they're, buying or interested in, to now, I'm sure you've done a lot of transactions sight unseen.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of, I'm sure, customers that, you just deal with over the phone.
The
That
last 2 years, I sold probably 70% of my listings without the buyer seeing the home.
It's wild.
Yeah, so that would just
What
call me,
are they spending on these houses?
Oh, it's trust.
Sure.
You build the trust. Second, market knowledge.
Right.
Provide them the right information and opportunity. Everybody's looking for opportunity. We talked about this before you came. I have a client who called me the other day, says, do you have an opportunity for me? I do. All right. Where is the opportunity? Dominican Republic. Let's go. So we went to Dominican Republic for a couple of days. There is an opportunity there. The wealthy people, the wealthy, smart people, they don't wait for market crashes. There is no such thing in their mindset. They don't even believe in market going up and down. It does, it functions, but they don't wait for that. They look for opportunity. There's always a business that's going to close the doors. There's always somebody's getting divorced. There's always somebody, unfortunately, we're all going to die, right? Somebody reaches the 90 years and they die. Business is for sale. That's an opportunity. So it's about finding the right opportunity and knowing the right people. I've connected more people in the last 3 years, and I think that's the reason why my business 10x's in the last 3 years, because I connect more people to shake hands. I connect people, they open businesses together, opportunities for them. So the more people I introduce to other people, the more my business grow.
But have you found establishing that success being face-to-face?
100%,
right?
100%. I'm flying next Friday to New York to meet people face-to-face. That's what you guys should take advantage of, what generation you're in right now, because everybody, again, we're not doing this for social media. We're doing because we know these young generations, even my kids one day, going to be on social media watching and listening. So I'm doing this for them, for people who really don't have the opportunity or they're shy to go out. Yeah. Like I'm doing, my daughter is 9. She has my energy, my charisma. But even with her, I'm trying to see if I can push her to be uncomfortable to go say hi to that, older gentleman that's sitting on that bench and say, hey, you have a nice sweater. Just compliment somebody if you want to break the ice. It's so easy. Right. And you don't have to be fake about it.
No.
You can find one thing in one person that you're going to like. Sunglasses, watch, shoes, whatever. Just say something good, or just say, hey,
color their t-shirt. I like that.
So
I like that pink shirt.
I'm doing that with her, practicing.
Right.
And again, it's not easy. I guess it's a generational thing, so.
But the gurus online will tell you, no, just stay inside.
I love how you call them gurus.
No.
Yeah.
Spend 14 hours a day on your computer. Make sure
buy my
super dialed in. And then when you get that ad dialed in, don't worry, I have another $997 course ready for you for that next thing that's going to get you from $10,000 a month to $20,000 a month. And you can't go anywhere unless you pay that $997.
Nothing against Grant Cardone. I know you know who Grant Cardone is. You guys know who Grant Cardone is. Like I when I started the business, I paid the course and I went to this.
How did that go?
Miami. Well, I'll tell you right now. He's a super successful guy, but he's a marketer. He makes money out of marketing and finding uneducated, emotionally people to click
Yeah.
and pay right away. So what he does is I went to this 2-hour course because I read his book. I love his books. The books are great. And you
He's
can
got
learn.
books too?
He has books, a lot of books.
Oh,
And I go in Miami and we're, there's like 3,000 people seminar, and he doesn't give one information that's going to help you grow the business. This was 8 years ago. I was in my 20s. I could have go there and give more advice to these people to open a business than what he did. What he did was 3 hours of talking and just
Upselling.
telling.
Upselling.
Buy my course for next 10, for next month. Buy this, click this, do that. And he's just a sales guy, great sales guy, amazing sales skills. But that's, unfortunately, I don't like that. Again, nothing against Grant Cardone. I respect the guy because he built amazing business for himself and his family and the people around him. Kudos to him, right? Good for you. But to me, that's selfishness. The people we met, the clients I have, they share. Not just, you don't have to share money, but they share knowledge.
yeah, of
You
course.
came here to
Yeah.
share knowledge so people can learn and grow. We're not charging for this podcast because we want to share. You want to give back. You want to be a giver. But these guys out there, unfortunately today, and the kids are clicking and paying, they don't give you any legitimate advice. They
They're
just
scary. I think they're trying to simplify everything, but I don't know if that benefits anybody.
There's no simple.
That's not simplifying. I mean, you're kind of
they're consultants and they never run a business. And
Oh.
they're just crazy.
yeah. I,
crazy.
mean, I don't know how much of this.
And I read every real estate book, and like when I started a business, I read all of them.
Yeah.
And you, out of like 100 books, you can combine maybe one 10-page book.
Yep.
Wow.
That's really knowledge.
Yep.
It's all gibberish stuff.
really?
Yeah. Courses selling this and that.
So it was just
Yeah.
the upsell.
I believe in every industry, all these books. That's why then my vision became, and my goal was to shake hands with people who made it, who started from the bottom, who started it not easy, but they built a big
I'll,
enterprise. Yeah.
I'll also give you this story because you'll think this is funny. I'm, talking through how do we scale our business? How do we do these things? And I had a conversation with not a mentor, but just a person that wanted to give me advice. That I was a part of a mastermind, and he was like, all you have to do is you have to create a one-to-many coaching group and teach people how to build influence, because our business is around building influence. And then you just sell it. And I listened to it, and something told me, I was like, sounds like a great way to make money. And I think people that want to make money, it's never been easier now in these different ways to make money. Creating courses, coaching, all that type of stuff, it's real. I think the problem is you just don't know who you're buying from. And there's so many people now that what did they actually do? And what was their involvement in what they actually did? And it's like most people are giving you advice to start a coaching company before you've done the thing. It's like, I don't want to. The art of influence. I'm 24 years old. Like, you think I can talk about the art of influence? No. Like, it's not like I have knowledge that I can share, and I'm going to share it with my clients. I'm going to talk to people about it, but I'm not going to charge somebody $9.99 for that information.
If you get that knowledge from somebody you at least have a chance to meet face to face, I think you'd feel a lot more comfortable knowing that, okay, you've had this interaction with them, and to hopefully understand what they're telling you, process what they went through. Whereas you just read somebody's book, any random person that you say, oh, okay, wait, like you just said, Book of Influence. Read that. Where are you obtaining this knowledge from? Who is this person? And how comfortable can you feel about that?
And if you don't meet them in person, I don't think.
I'm just a fan of that social interaction.
I was fortunate enough to, I started, when I moved here, I served tables, I bartend.
Yeah.
I always admire serving wealthy people, and you don't know, you see the car they show up with, but the way they behave, the way they appreciate time, they don't waste time looking at the menu 40 minutes and decide if they want anchovies on their Caesar salad or not. They choose right away. They look at you in the eyes when they order. They respect you.
Yeah.
They, and to me, that was like, well, I want to be around people like this, So we were brought up going in school, being from a country. I mean, even here, if you were raised without money or they teach you that wealthy people are bad. They're not. The mega wealthy people are so down to earth. They're so humble. They don't brag. They don't show off. They have planes and boats and stuff, but they don't put that on social media. when they go on their private jet. They don't. People who put private jet on social media, they rented it, or they put their Lamborghini. They
Yep.
they rented it for a week. So that's misunderstand the way kids see it these days, and it's unfortunate because they're like, oh, my daddy doesn't have this, or oh, I don't have this, and I think they depress these kids in a young age, and then they create these modern slaves that they can be happy to work 9 to 5 job one day when they finish college or even high school. It's sad. It's very sad. Well, happiness, it's in the grind and in the hard work.
Yeah.
That's it. It's very simple. That's why if I write a book in one day, it will be 40 page.
You couldn't have said any better. I mean, your true experience is that gratification. Otherwise, if you're living, vicariously through others and what they're telling you or what they're showing you, listen, if you want to talk about when you see a cool car in a picture, all right, that's nice. But when you see it live in person, that's a whole different feeling.
Yeah.
Right? When you're touching it, you're there, you shook hands with it, and that's a whole different experience.
Have the title in your pocket too. It's
started.
Yeah.
And just looking at that picture is
yeah.
it's a whole different feeling.
I mean, how many clients you have? They have, again, over 100 cars, collections. You don't see them on social media. They don't brag about it. They do it from themselves and the people around them.
It's a great way of exposure. It is marketing. It is, but I really feel like meeting somebody
Delivers the wrong.
I like the traditional, old school way of doing things. Just that face to face.
Shake your hand.
That's it.
100%.
That's the win.
Yeah,
that's the win. And I think we're just getting away from it further and further. But it opens up competitive advantages for everybody that does. Yeah, this is what the podcast is all about. It's these interactions. It's like that
was our goal. That's why we do this. So again, well, I think we have a wrap, right?
Yeah.
Season 1, episode 2. Well connected with Blaze. Thank you, Seth, for being part of this. It's amazing. We appreciate your time. Yeah, I think there's a lot of knowledge we can share from this podcast.
I hope so.
Hope we'll see you again in season 2.
Season 2.
Look forward to it. Thank you. All right, guys. Thank you. Awesome.